Hello， 大家好，我叫 Kaylin， 歡迎嚟到我嘅 YouTube channel. We're gonna do a sit down and talk type of video about 2022 Winter Olympics. 大家如果有跟足2022年嘅冬季奧運咧，就知道發生咗好多件事啦，尤其是係今年嘅女子花滑溜冰俄羅斯嘅選手。This includes Anna Shcherbakova, Alexandra Trusova, and most importantly, the star of today's video, Kamila Valieva. 我相信大家喺個 internet 都久唔久見到 Kamila Valieva 呢個名㗎啦，但係你有可能唔係好明發生咗咩事喎。So don't worry, I am here to clear it up for all of you. 首先會同大家講一講呢啲俄羅斯選手係邊個啦。今年咧就有3個俄羅斯女子選手嘅喺溜冰呢個項目 ，Anna Shcherbakova, Alexandra Trusova, and Kamila Valieva. The three of them take from Yelim Kim. 但係呢位 Yelim Kim 係邊個咧？佢係教過好多俄羅斯選手，通常都會攞第1或者第2名嘅喺啲大嘅比賽，例如 Junior Grand Prix、Grand Prix、World Championships、Junior World Championships。咁而家都睇到2018年同埋2022年嘅冬季奧運咧，佢啲學生咧都係攞咗第1、2名嘅。Yelim Kim mainly coaches females and they're dubbed as the Quad Squad。點解佢哋叫 Quad Squad 咧？係因為咧佢啲學生咧成日都跳4周嘅轉嘅。例如啦，見到今年 Alexandra Trusova 咧係做咗5個 quad 喺佢個free program 裡面嘅。而家咧就同大家講一講2022年嘅冬季奧運 doping scandal。The juiciest part of the video。Doping 咧 basically 嘅意思就係一個人俾啲藥你去 enhance 你個 performance， 即係去令到你做。譬如話你溜冰嗰時，可能跳得勁啲，轉得快啲咁樣。咁通常咧溜冰選手咧就係要做一個 urine test 嘅 ，so pee in a cup basically. The lab will test for any drugs in the WADA's list of banned substances. Before we get into details, to simplify the whole story for everyone, Kamila Valieva was still cleared to skate at the solo event at the Winter Olympic Games, even after having tested for 3 different types of drugs in her system. Zooming in on the detail, Kamila Valieva's doping sample was from December 25th of 2021, but then it was not tested until February 8th of 2022. 咁喺佢呢樽料咧 test 咗3個 drugs 嘅，有 hypoxin、L-carnitine and 呢個唔係好識讀啦 trimethazidine. Don't know if I'm saying it right, but we'll roll with it. These 3 substances are known as the trifecta of substances. 呢3隻藥咧其實係幫個心嘅，你可以當你做3至4分鐘嘅溜冰 routine， 你個心會泵得越多血，咁呢個人就冇咁快攰咯，就幫到個 athlete 咧跳啲勁啲嘅 jump 就冇咁容易。You know what I'm saying? Now actually, the first 2 drugs that I named, hypoxin and L-carnitine 佢唔係 illegal 嘅，係其實係食得嘅，但係咧係好 unusual for 一個15歲嘅女仔去食咯。第3個 drug 咧 trimethazidine 係犯法嘅，佢係唔食得 ，it is illegal. Basically, Kamila Valieva took an illegal drug during Russian figure skating championships to help boost her endurance, to help her come first and to secure a spot from the Winter Olympic Games. 佢係 test 咗 positive 嘅。咁個 Russia ADA 咧就首先 ban 咗佢1-2日，唔俾佢比賽。之後咧就話好啦，我照俾你比啦。IOC、WADA、ISU 咧就同個 CAS 啦就話我唔覺得你應該要俾 Kamila 比賽喎。咁佢哋就 apply 咗 to CAS， 咁就有呢個 court meeting 啦 ，to decide again 佢可唔可以比賽。咁點解 Kamila Valieva 會仲俾 skate 咧 after 呢個 court meeting？For 2 main reasons, she is under 16 because Kamila is only 15 years old, so she is a protected person under WADA's code. So she doesn't need suspension, she only faces reprimand, and actually has not been tested positive for any drugs in her system during the Olympic Games. But for now, I have invited 2 of my friends to join me on a Zoom meeting, and we're gonna have a further discussion on everything that's been going on in 2022 Winter Olympics.
Hello, everybody. We're here talking with. That's all you have to start with.
Hello, everyone. So now we're on Zoom with my 2 favorite people in the whole world. Hello.
I'm Rachel.
Hello,
Great.
my name is Craig Heath, and I'm a senior coach for Hong Kong and a former international competitive skater and show skater all around the world.
Craig Heath 就係我嘅教練啦。Rachel is one of my best friends in the whole world, and we've been skating together for like ever. So let's get into how the two of you feel about this whole situation. Like as a coach and as a skater, like how do you feel about Kamila being able to skate and like her being issued the drugs? What are your opinions on this?
My opinion about this is that she shouldn't have been able to skate, first of all, because she did fail her drug test, which that should be like black and white. There should be no gray area in that. And I feel like the fact that they made a gray area was not helpful to her or the sport in any way. And I feel like she could very well be 100% innocent in this whole drama and had no idea about it. Because from what I've heard from other Russian skaters that have, left Russia, skated for different countries, is that they did not know what was in some of the things. Like they had a daily shot. They didn't necessarily know what they were taking.
Well, but then there's some people that are like, oh, even if she has been blindly taking these drugs, like we've been taught as young athletes that like whatever we put in our bodies is like our responsibility. Like if she doesn't know anything about it, then how is it her fault?
Well, you have to remember that Russia got in trouble already for doing this, for blood doping. And I don't think they ever stopped. I just think they covered up really well. And so she doesn't have a choice. I mean, if the government's doing it, this was like a government run blood doping thing that happened and they got caught. And that's why they can't have the Russian flag or the Russian anthem at the Olympics. They have to skate for ROC. So is that fair? Is that fair for, what about all those other skaters that were out there knowing that if Kamila was in the top 3, that they wouldn't have a medal ceremony? Let me ask you guys, like when you're a little kid, were you thinking of the Olympics and like, what do you think of? Do you think of like standing up on the podium with getting a medal and having your flag?
No, I visualize popping at the Olympics.
Well, yeah, that's because you're weird, but, and I just feel like the amount of pressure that was on her wasn't fair. I mean, she's young and she's strong and she's honestly overall probably the best skater in the world that I've ever seen, with all the different aspects of skating all put into one person. Like at a 15 years of age, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think it's not fair because all the athletes were tested negative and they were all clean. So then 如果譬如好似而家咁樣啦，咁 Kari Sakamoto 佢 place third 嘅話，咁變咗如果 Kamila 係佢本身即係因為佢而家係 place fourth 啫，咁而家個 ceremony 要繼續做啦。咁但係如果佢係本身係頭3嘅話，咁其實變咗，即係其實無論係佢自己嘅 teammate 定係其他 skaters from other country， 佢都會唔 fair 咯，因為其實佢係咪都係個 punishment 係變咗係冇 ceremony， 但係其實變咗係會 punish 埋另外嗰2個咯。咁我就覺得成件事唔係好 fair 咯。
如果你喺 Kamila 個 shoes 咧，你會點做咧？你而家？
我覺得 Kamila 承受嘅嗰個 pressure 係好大嘅，因為即係雖然話佢係15歲，咁 technically 無論你係15歲定係25歲，咁 suppose 你都係 competing as a senior lady， 咁某程度上係應該要 fair。咁但係始終你15歲，你可以承受到一個 mental health 係唔會比一個25歲嘅多㗎嘛。
So there's the team event, which is a huge event now in the Olympics for ice skating. You have all these teams that have no idea what's going to happen, can't have a medal ceremony. Although I know there's some kind of petition to have the medal ceremony.
But even then, like everybody would have already left like Beijing. Like they still can't host a victory ceremony.
Right. So what's going to happen? They're going to like DHL the medals and then everyone's going to go on Zoom and go, yay. I mean, it's really lame.
Knock,
it's
knock,
lame.
here's your medal. Yeah, that's so sad.
Oh, it got lost in the mail. Sorry, it got lost in the mail because COVID. I mean, it's really lame. This shouldn't be happening. And the fact that she's a protected person, I get it. She's a child.
No, but because it's like she is a protected person, and I feel like Russia knew about this, like the WADA's code that she's under 16, so she's protected. So that's why they did this whole thing, because they knew about it. So they knew that there's some gray area, there's some chance that they'll still let her compete.
I mean, it was heartbreaking to see her. My heart broke. Like I had a headache after it. The whole thing,
was so
the whole after
sad.
she skated. Yeah, it was really sad. You shouldn't have to watch this. You know, when you watch the Chinese pair team win yesterday, it's so exciting, and that's the moment that you want to have. That everyone was fine, everyone was happy. You know, that's what it's supposed to be like. Not, you know, meltdowns and screaming and yelling and not going out and all this kind of stuff. I mean,
It
how
was
does that look
Everyone was
for
having a breakdown.
Trusova?
Yeah, oh, I really want to talk
Yeah.
about that. I feel like no one on the television has addressed this. 其實背後咧有啲嘢係冇影到出嚟啦。咁 Russian 嘅選手咧 Alexandra Trusova 啦，佢就攞咗第二。佢喺背後咧比完賽同埋 victory ceremony 中間咧就大嗌就話 I don't wanna skate anymore. I hate this sport. This sport ruined my life. I feel like she totally had the right to have this breakdown, but maybe not in front of the cameras, like behind the scenes where nobody could hear her, because it's very unprofessional. And like you've always taught the both of us, like we can't be crying.
You can cry. It's not that you can't cry, but throwing a complete temper tantrum, you know, not saying that you're not going to go out for the medal ceremony, that's not fair to anybody else. I felt like she displayed really poor sportsmanship, and she blamed it on not seeing her family and her dog or whatever later. But in that moment, the cameras were all on her. They were in her face, and she was screaming and yelling, and she ends up looking like a poor sport, unfortunately, because I mean, I really like her skating. Since you competed against her, I was kind of like a fan of her. Like she'd do these double sows, warming up for her quad sow, and it was like over the railing. Were we in Belarus or somewhere? And then
you
competed
my
against
first
Sasha,
JGP,
and I was like, we were outside, and I was like pushing you, go take a picture with her. Go take a. I was like so funny about it. You didn't know what was going to happen with her. And then I did the same thing with you with Aliona, because she was my favorite at that one competition.
You know, when Alexandra first came out, she was like the quad queen and is still dubbed as like the quad queen, right? But then I was doing my research on this yesterday, and Anna was actually the first person to do quads, to land a clean quad in Sambo 70, which is like where they train. In 2017, she got injured, so Alexandra got to go to JGP, and so she was the quad queen, and it wasn't Anna. But Anna was actually the first one to do quads. So I was like really surprised.
Oh, I didn't realize.
咁另一樣嘢咧就係嗰陣有個韓國嘅選手啦 Yelim Kim， 咁咧佢都有俾到今屆嘅 Olympics 啦。咁佢13歲嗰陣咧就俾咗2016嗰個 Junior Grand Prix event 啦，比完賽之後咧佢就翻咗 hotel， 佢 suppose 係要留喺嗰個場嗰度，然之後等成件事完咗咁樣。咁但係咧佢就唔知佢做啦，咁所以佢就走咗。咁然後佢最尾咧係遲咗 within 1個鐘去嗰個場嗰度做個 test 啦。咁佢 turns out 係做咗個 test 嘅，咁都 negative 咗嘅。咁但係因為咧佢遲咗1個鐘啦 ，ICU 咧係有 file 到 complaint 嘅，然後佢最尾雖然冇事啦，咁但係 let's say 佢 file 咗個 complaint 之後有事嘅話咧 ，suppose 係有機會 suspend 到1年啦。當 Kamila 而家係直情 test 咗 positive， 然之後又係 minor 嘅情況之下，佢就可以比賽咧。咁係咪因為 Kamila 講嘅 argument 話佢點樣去驗到呢個 drug 嘅 reason 係因為佢 share 咗同一杯水 with 佢嘅 grandpa？
啲醫生都有講過，其實係好 unlikely 咯，有嗰個 drug 嗰個 substance 喺杯水裡面，嗰個 dosage 都係好細，應該係冇 effect 嘅喎。咁同埋又講翻佢，唔會驗到咯，係咯。咁同埋又講下，即係佢係等咗由12月25號至到2月8號先至做嗰個 test。咁呢2個月中間佢哋做啲咩咧？用佢嗰個 doping test。咁 Russia 就講咗啦，話佢嗰個 excuse 啦，就係 Stockholm 嗰個 lab 咧就有 processing delay because of COVID。But then ISU 就覺得呢個 excuse 係 not make sense 咯。
嗰啲 Russian skaters 係 train 緊 10幾個鐘一日啊，然之後6日都喺個冰嗰度啊。因為個 drug 嘅 effect 就係正正做到呢件事咧，佢係可以令到嗰啲小朋友喺一個咁細嘅 age 嗰度可以 train 到咁耐，佢個 body 又唔會 break down 又唔會 collapse 嘅情況之下，咁係咪會令到佢而家呢個 perform 到個 level of difficulty 做到呢件事咧？咁有好多人會 question 呢件事咯。
Like this is when it gets so annoying for everyone and so unfair because you did something without cheating and then another person is cheating and like they're taking what you should have gotten through like dirty play.
Yeah, what's the point of having the test if the skater still gets to skate?
Right.
Geez,
Exactly.
Test is
What's the point? Just don't test.
Then there's
them
no
if you
point
think
having the
that them-
test. Everyone can dope.
Even if they aren't doping, it's like they've lost credibility because of what's been going on with Kamila. So it's like everybody, like from now on, when they go to competitions,
Yeah,
they're going
'cause
to be
people will
doubting
question.
whatever they're doing.
Kaylin, in your experience, how do you feel as a competitor who competed against these girls, some of them, most of them, and knowing that there's a possibility that they were doping the whole time in all these competitions that you were at?
Okay, like it is really unfair, but like to me, it's not too big a deal just because it's like it was never really my intention to place 1, 2, or 3 like next to these girls. I just wanted to do my best, but like it really ruins the whole situation. Like everyone going in and like putting their best foot forward without any drugs, and then there's these girls who may have been doping the whole time. It's like, then should I be doing that too? Like if I want to come first, do I have to go do drugs?
And those girls might not have ever been 1, 2, 3 if they didn't do that.
We have tackled all the confusion in the air and all like the main events in 2022 Winter Olympics with regards to the Russian figure skaters. Thank you to Craig and Rachel for joining me in this not planned conversation.
You're welcome. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.